Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Look at that. It's Thursday already. You believe it? Man, the time goes by fast.
And May 1st.
Oh, and May 1st. May Day. And that means, I don't know, communist celebrations all over the world where they treasure communism.
All right, awesome.
Yeah. Like at Bernie Sanders' house and AOC's home. They love it there. They love it. So this is a big deal for them. And they're singing this right now.
Absolutely.
Right now as they're waking up.
This was put on repeat at midnight.
Uh-huh.
Oh, God.
What
Tell you this.
Good song. Huh?
It's stirring.
It is.
It's stirring. Gets the blood pumping.
Uh-huh. Something you can dance to.
Yeah, well. You could maybe waltz to that. Maybe. Yesterday morning, a report was released showing that the GDP had shrunk. So, of course, the mainstream media jumped all over it as a Donald Trump failure. He's been in office since January 20th. It's May 1st. And, of course, all this is his fault. But here was Stephen Moran, the chairman of the White House Economic Council, talking about the GDP.
What you saw is a declining GDP number this morning. That's a result of the bad economic policies we inherited from President Biden. Inflation was very strong in the first quarter, very strong in January, and that drove real spending data down. The economy did accelerate after the president took office, and I also want to point out that capital investment surged. Firm investment activity surged in the first quarter as firms started to look forward to better economic outcomes under President Trump. That's not the type of thing that you see in a sustained economic downturn at all. That's the type of thing you see when firms are optimistic about the future, when they know they want to make more in the United States, when they know they want to bring production back to the United States from abroad. And that's exactly what the president said would happen, and that's indicative of optimism in the future of the economy.
Right.
So put that in your pipe.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, too. That's the implied part. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Stick that up your rectal cavity.
I got your GDP report right here, huh?
There was something going on. I'm not sure if he touched on it or not because I was listening to something else while he was talking. But I heard this morning that the GDP, while down a little bit, that also was because we were importing an oversized amount of goods because they were trying to get them in before the tariffs. So that meant that the GDP was under because of that. So it's kind of misleading. Because of that.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it was in that clip or not because I was also listening to something else while it was playing. But I hope he mentioned the 22% increase in domestic investment, which we're going to have some Trump clips at the White House yesterday.
Big money yesterday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
While the clip was playing. Just to bring you in on what's going on. While the clip was playing, my phone went off because it was an Amber Alert.
Yeah, I mean, can we find this kid?
Yeah, not yet.
Which let's stop the show and find the kid.
The Amber Alert here on my phone to make it audible. I never squelched that.
Really?
You guys don't care that somebody's just been kidnapped.
That's a fact. In fact, look at this.
You don't care.
I just got a silent alert on my phone. I too know about it without the piercing sound.
Only because my phone went off, and now you can look at yours and say, "Oh yeah, I have it
That's
too."
Right.
But
we wouldn't have known it.
You wouldn't have known it.
And I do hope that this child is okay.
Yes. You know what? I always like it when it's suspected that one of the other parents,
a lot of them
divorced, and one of them,
a lot of them are,
but really sad. Every time that thing goes off, it's like, oh no,
I know, no. And it's usually nowhere near where I live, so I don't care. Mm-hmm. There was one the other day that was in our neck of the woods, and I was like, oh boy.
Did you look out the window?
I did not. I thought, well, if I leave the house today, I'll keep an eye out.
You callous bastard!
Wow. Okay.
Economist Stephen Moore discussed China and tariffs yesterday.
But I do think Trump is using them in a very strategic way. And one of the things that Trump does know the art of the deal. China must trade with the United States, Steve. If they cannot trade with the United States, their economy will go into a Great Depression. They're totally dependent on their exports to the U.S. And Trump is using that as leverage to get China to behave itself. They are an abuse. I think they're an abusive country. I think they're dangerous to the United States. It's the one issue across the spectrum that conservatives, liberals, Democrats, Republicans all agree that China is a big problem and we got to get tough with them. And Trump is doing exactly that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Again, we've got great people in office right now. We've got great people as advisors. We've got people who are not afraid to tell the truth and just stick it right back in the face of these reporters and these anchor people. So clearly the U.S. economy isn't doing anywhere near as badly as the press wants you to believe. In fact, yesterday at the White House, President Trump acknowledged a lot of companies who've been making huge U.S.-based investments, like Hyundai, CMA-CGM, Worldwide Amazon Stores, Venture Global LNG, Siemens, Pratt, Chobani, Bell, Schneider Electric, Johnson & Johnson, Eli Lilly, Novartis, Genentech, AbbVie, Thermo Fisher Scientific. Is that your company?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Merck, Abbott Laboratories, IBM, and GE Aerospace.
Yeah,
so it's what, $5 trillion now so far?
Yeah, and missing from that list, AstraZeneca is shifting. Here it is, shifting production to the U.S., $3.5 billion worth.
That's what some of Merck is doing, too. Apparently, they
Wow.
make this cancer drug that's one of the leading cancer drugs, and they don't make it here, which they're going to begin making it.
Which is long overdue.
Certainly does seem to be working. And, like he said in the beginning, there's probably going to be some pain along the way. But if we can be a little bit patient, this is going to pay off big time in the long run.
I hope so.
Big time.
I hope so. I heard an analogy.
I think it will.
I want it to, no question.
Everybody
I heard,
wants it to.
I heard an analogy this morning from one of the Fox Business people that talked about how being on life support. And when you come off life support, you struggle a little bit, and it takes a little while to get your feet, and then you're back up and running again. That's what the U.S. is like. And I thought, okay, well, that's an interesting analogy, except sometimes you die. Sometimes they take you off life support, and
sometimes they
it's
die.
over.
Oh, wow.
You don't get back on your feet again. So
we gotta hope for the more positive
we do
aspect.
have to hope for the more
You know what? Let's get a
positive,
second
yeah.
opinion. I don't care for Dr. Jeffries.
No. That's always the case, though, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you never
course.
care for Jeffy's opinion. Never care for it. All right, let me tell you about Real Estate Agents I Trust. This is such a great company. And when you're making a really massive investment in your future, like buying a house or selling your house, you want somebody who can really help you through the process, because it's really stressful. This can give you a lot of peace of mind when you have somebody by your side who really knows what they're doing, who knows what buyers are looking for, and so they can advise you in what to remodel and what not to remodel. I've mentioned before that originally we were told, yeah, you probably need to do about a $100,000 remodel in your master bathroom. Whoa, really? Yeah, it's not going to sell like this. So we didn't, because our realtor said, no, you don't need to do that. If they want to come in and remodel, let them do it. And so it saved us a lot of money. And the same can happen for you. If you have somebody by your side that knows what they're doing, then you'll be able to sell your house for the most money and get the most house out of your money if you're buying. It's Real Estate Agents I Trust. Glenn's company, they've carefully vetted all these people. And it's a free service we provide to you. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
So President Trump discussed the corporate tax rate yesterday. And here's what he said about that. Cut 3.
We cut your taxes from almost 40% down to 21%. Now we're bringing your taxes down from 21% to 15% if you build your product, make your product in the USA. So if you make it in the USA, those chips, those beautiful chips, will make those suckers in the USA, and you're going to be all the way down to 15%. And I think there's never been anything like it. So now we're at the lowest scale for a large country, by far the lowest scale.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool. Make it happen. Mm-hmm. Make it happen. There's no reason that it should be even 21%, the tax on corporations. But the Democrats get away with it because they make it out like it's a good thing for the little guy. Because they're paying more, you pay less. That's not how it works. That's not what's going on here. They pay more and you pay more. You pay more for their products because they've been taxed more, and they're not lowering your taxes because they raised it on somebody else, but they try to sell you that bill of goods every day because they're Marxists. Trump also discussed other ways to help companies in the U.S.
But our big, beautiful bill, as I call it, our big, beautiful bill, we may name it that, actually, will include 100% expensing retroactive to January 20th. So that's all the way back to just about the beginning of the year. So expensing 1 year, you take a deduction 1 year so you can build your factories right now, essentially almost tax-free if you think about it. Nobody's ever been given that. And we're going to make that expensing for a 4-year period at a full 100%. So last time we made it 1 year, and you had deductions you'd do from 100% to 80 to 60 to 40 to 20 to Zippo. And now what we're going to do is we're going to keep it at that level, and we're going to have it for 4 years. So I believe that was one of the reasons that we had such unbelievable growth. Also, we allowed you to bring money back from outside of the country. It was impossible. You had to have 15 different law firms representing you. It was so complicated. And worse was that the tax rate was 65%. Ooh. I lowered the rate substantially, but still a lot. You know, we shouldn't take your money just to hold you hostage, right? So we lowered it to a reasonable amount. And we took in trillions of dollars, came back. Apple brought in a tremendous amount of money. A lot of the companies here brought in a lot of money. And the businesses represented today clearly understand that if you build your factory in the United States, your tariff rate is 0. And you have other advantages, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, again, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
That should be the name of the bill.
Yeah.
Oh.
The big... Yeah, you could do... You know what? You could just tag an addendum onto the big, beautiful bill. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. I like it. Seems like everybody's been calling it that. I thought it was already named that.
Yeah, I did as well.
I mean...
Pretty sure that's the name of it.
Even the representatives are calling it that, so... GE Aerospace CEO Lawrence Culp spoke at this event yesterday.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's an honor to be here representing all of my colleagues at GE Aerospace. We are today 125 years old, but we are inventing the future of flight. Today, we power 3/4 of the world's commercial airlines and nearly 2/3 of the U.S. military combat jets and helicopters. So what you see here with the F-110 powers 70% of the newest Air Force F-15s and the F-16s. I know you were in Michigan just yesterday. Yeah. This is the engine that will be under wing on the F-15EX Eagle II that the Michigan Air National Guard will soon be flying.
All right.
We're excited about what's happening at our company. We're investing $1 billion this year, as the President said, across 16 states, not only in our manufacturing footprint, but with so many of the small and mid-sized businesses that constitute our supply chain. There's a lot happening. We're excited about it. Mr. President, thank you for what you're doing, not only to revitalize U.S. manufacturing, but helping ensure that the U.S. aerospace industry, one of our biggest net exporters, continues to lead the world in innovation. Thank you.
Oh, wait. Okay.
Apparently they don't anymore.
They don't anymore.
They don't.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Who was the CEO? Do you remember the CEO back in the day when we were in New York? They had a CEO that was bringing evil to life.
Yeah.
But I think they've stopped that.
Was that Jeff Immelt?
Yeah, it might have been. Sounds right.
I don't remember.
Well, yeah, he was CEO from 01 to 17.
There you
had
go.
To have been him.
There you go. They've changed though since he left.
Yeah.
And SoftBank's Masayoshi Son from, is that really his name? Masayoshi Son?
Yeah.
Wow.
I like that. That is a solid Japanese name right there.
He's a SoftBank guy, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's good. He's fun.
And here he is.
Also with us is Chairman and CEO of SoftBank, Masa. Where's Masa? Masa, come on up here, Masa.
Come on up here.
Masa has pledged $200 billion plus another $500 billion with Oracle and OpenAI.
I know.
For a total of $700 billion. Thank you, Masa. Come on up, please.
Yeah, come on up. What are you doing?
I love this guy.
Did they pull out the? Oh, they didn't pull out the stand.
No, not this time.
Well, first time of Trump administration, we made an announcement, commitment, $50 billion. We delivered $70 billion over 4 years last time. This time, I tried to commit $100 billion.
Remember this?
And President Trump said, "Oh, Masa, go for more." so
Put him on
we
the
did
spot.
the $200 billion commitment.
$200
and then
billion.
right after that, we SoftBank, OpenAI, Oracle, and MGX together, we announced $500 billion investment.
Wow.
This is the
Holy
largest
cow. Wow.
investment for infrastructure in the United States. Investment. And
That's great.
I think this is more than the scale. The importance is this is the largest infrastructure for the AI, which is the future of mankind, I believe. It's going to change every industry,
Yeah.
every way of how our mankind's lifestyle of the future. I am committed. U.S. is the center of innovation. U.S. must continue the leadership of AI. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Guy's got way too much money.
Thank you very much, Masa. Been a friend of mine for a long time. These guys are a mover. We got to say, you are really something. It's
No
great.
doubt.
We appreciate it.
Guy's
too.
awesome.
Great spirit, great genius.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And $500 billion in investment. That's really great.
That's after the 200,
great.
after the 70, after the
Right.
after the 50, after the 20.
So that's almost $1 trillion just from that group. That's impressive.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Masa, you can do better than that.
Yeah. And apparently he was right, because he has.
And he did.
Now, the infrastructure for AI is a little scary. It's a little bit chilling because, yes, it could be the future of mankind. It could also be the doom of mankind. I'm a little torn on the AI
Really?
situation.
And my life support analogy story is the one you're making fun of. Okay. All right. I just want to be clear. We're all right.
Okay, I'm glad you're clear. Incredible, though. I mean, infrastructure is kind of important. I wish that the Dallas-Fort Worth officials paid a little more attention to our infrastructure.
Dang.
There you
talk
go.
about the roads and bridges falling apart.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Look, I don't mind having that's cool if you want to develop something like AI that'll, read our minds. Mm-hmm. Could we mix in some asphalt here and there in the meantime?
Could you maybe fill a few of these massive potholes that are the size of Lake Superior, probably, without any water in them? So it works out really well when you hit them every time. You know what? I should bill the respective cities where these potholes are. I should bill them for the repair damage on my vehicle. Everybody should do that. Maybe then they'd fix it.
I'm with you.
Probably the only way they will. Let me tell you about Tri-Tails beef. One of the best things in life is a good, tender, juicy steak. And I love it when that steak comes from a cow that was raised right here in Texas. If you want to buy beef from a family-owned fifth-generation ranch like I do, look no further than Tri-Tails beef. You can bring premium Texas beef right to your table because these are top-tier cuts of meat, hand-packed and delivered right to your door. I'm talking prime and choice, USDA prime and choice beef with high-end Black Angus genetics that ensure that every single bite you take is going to be consistently delicious. There's no grass-fed gimmicks. What does the grass-fed thing do anyway? It does nothing. It really doesn't. So this is just premium, flavorful beef that's been raised the right way and balanced for tenderness and marbling, which means these cattle are pasture-raised and grain-finished by Texans who care about the quality of their product. I love it. It's delicious. Never been disappointed in a cut of beef from Tri-Tails Beef. So go to trybeef.com/PatGray, and you'll automatically receive free beef tips when you add something to your cart. Plus, you can get an additional 5% almost site-wide until May 4th. That's trybeef.com/PatGray and get 5% off plus your free beef tips with your order today.
And now, Pat Gray returns.
A lot of good, positive developments since President Trump took office. But to listen to the mainstream media, to turn on CNN or MSNBC or ABC, CBS, NBC, you would think that the nation has imploded on itself.
Even all the Democratic leaders are, like we've crumbling. We've crumbled.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, well, what are you looking at?
They are talking the economy down.
Yeah.
They're trying desperately. Said a while ago, all of us want the economy to thrive. Well, all of us but Democrats. I think the Democrat leadership, I think the rank and file Democrats want us to succeed. But people like Hakeem Jeffries, he doesn't want us to succeed.
Way.
Chuck Schumer doesn't want us to succeed.
No way.
Here's Hakeem Jeffries from yesterday.
Cost of living in the United States is too high. America is too expensive. And Donald Trump couldn't care less.
Oh, my gosh.
He couldn't care less that housing costs are too high. He couldn't care less that grocery costs are too high. He couldn't care less that child care costs are too high. He couldn't care less that health insurance costs are too high. He couldn't care less that utility costs are too high. Donald Trump couldn't care less. Prices everywhere are too high, and Donald Trump couldn't care less.
Yeah, y'all say it with him. Really drives that point home. Couldn't care less.
So he's responsible for all of those prices?
All of it.
Daycare and all of that?
All of it.
Grocery store prices, everything is Donald Trump's fault.
He didn't answer.
The housing?
I was, we were watching the clip, and I kept hearing someone say, "How did it happen?" And he never answered it.
Yeah. How did it happen?
Yeah, how did it happen? Well, Trump came into office and he raised the price. Remember that when
everything was
when he
glorious.
demanded that everyone raise your prices.
Yeah, January 19th, things were utopia.
Fine. It was great then.
Here in America.
Yeah. The next day when he demanded all prices go up everywhere on everyone.
Why'd he do that?
I don't know. He's mean. He's just mean.
Because he couldn't care less. That's what Hakeem said.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Has this guy been anywhere but the United States? Do you know that we're nowhere near the most expensive place to live?
Oh, no kidding.
But since when do they care about the plight of anybody but themselves and their own political power? They don't. They're the ones who couldn't care less. At least you got that right. Mm-hmm. At least you didn't say he could care less.
Right, right.
Thank you for that.
Hey, look, now we have something nice to say about Hakeem.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He at least got the phrase right. So good for him, because they usually don't. On the immigration and deportation front, though, Americans overwhelmingly approve of the president's policies. But yesterday, Democrat Congressman Hank Johnson...
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You know how brilliant he is.
You will not make it.
He pops his head up ever so often.
To the end of this 3-minute clip.
It's amazing that he is still
3 minutes.
in office.
I know.
He thinks he's so profound in this clip.
Oh, good.
I can't wait to see if he can make it.
Man.
Okay.
You can't.
First, they came for the Latinos.
Oh, jeez.
Outside of the Home Depots, trying to get work.
Right.
So that they could feed their families.
Right.
Yeah. First they came for them.
And I didn't say anything about it.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because I'm not a Latino at the Home Depot. Then they came for the Hispanic-looking folks.
Oh, did they? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wearing hats backward with tattoos.
Uh-huh.
And they deported them to
El
Salvador.
Yeah, why didn't you stand up?
And I didn't say anything about that because...
Because why? Why didn't you say something?
I don't wear my hair backward. And
he doesn't wear his hair
backward. I don't have any tattoos, and I don't look like a Latino.
No, that's true. That part.
Then they came for the Latinas.
Oh, the Latinas.
Okay.
At home, taking care of the children.
Did they?
I bet he didn't say anything here either.
The Latinas and the children.
Well, he's not a Latina at home with children.
American citizens.
You know? Mm-hmm.
One of whom was receiving treatment for cancer.
Oh, boy.
They swept them up.
Took
them off.
They didn't care.
And deported them.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't say anything about it.
You son of a bitch.
You didn't say anything?
Because I'm not a Latina.
Wow.
I'm not a little child who's an American citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Then they came back for the
then
students.
The students.
Oh, no.
Did you say something, Ned?
Studying on the college
I think
campuses.
this is a little out of order, but okay. All right.
Who were here
We'll go with it, Pat.
on student visas.
Mm-hmm. Student visas.
They sent
finally stood up, right?
jackbooted thugs wearing masks.
Wearing masks.
Pick them up.
Take
them thousands of miles away and put them in a private, for-profit detention center where they languish at taxpayer expense.
But then you stood up.
Really?
And I didn't say anything about it.
He didn't say anything about it. He didn't say anything.
Because I'm not a student.
Yeah.
Wow.
On a foreign visa.
So you only care about yourself.
You're a congressman.
You selfish bastard.
And then they came and arrested
then
white female
judge. Oh,
state
my gosh.
court judge.
And she was just minding her own business.
Presiding
am I right?
over her courtroom.
Yeah, he had to say something now, right? I mean,
politically
you would think. Except he's
managing
not
the affairs
white female judge.
of her court.
So I don't know if he cared, really. Did you say
They
anything?
came and arrested her and perp walked her.
Oh, boy. Did they
to
really?
jail.
And what'd you do? What'd you do about it?
And I didn't say anything.
Oh,
because
gosh, darn it.
I'm not a judge, a white female judge.
You're apparently not.
But then,
you're a congressman.
What happened
came
then?
for me.
They did come for you.
And I looked around.
It's about time.
How are
and
you
there was
sitting
nobody
there
left.
then?
Nobody left.
Because I had remained silent.
Did you write
And they
this
had
down?
taken everybody off.
Insane. Oh, my gosh.
You made it. You made
That
it.
is why that guy has been in Congress for way too long.
That's why, because he's so profound.
If anyone
so
should have stood up and said something along the line, it should have been a sitting U.S. congressman.
Yeah,
right?
Lazy SOB. What's your problem? Oh, my goodness.
But he's not any of those things.
I see.
No, he's not.
But they said at the end, he said they came for him. Well, why the hell's he still sitting in Congress?
That's
they
what I'm
dragged
wondering.
his ass to prison.
How are you still there if they came for you?
Oh, he was the last one.
The last one.
But he's still there. They didn't come for him.
So he lied.
So, yeah.
Imagine that, a politician lying.
That's weird.
To the camera, no less.
That's weird.
Boy, you know,
That's
if they do
tremendous.
take him away, we're going to miss his genius, that's for sure. Because, boy,
That's for sure.
he gives
He's
us
given
lots
us
of
some
that.
great stuff
He
over
sure
the years.
has. And I'll miss him.
My fear is that
Yeah.
the whole island
Of
will
Guam.
become so overly
populated
populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that.
They don't anticipate that.
Really?
But they didn't because they don't have the genius of Hank Johnson.
Right.
If they did, they would have anticipated it and not sent the Marines there. But when he brought it up, they started thinking about it. And they thought, well, yeah, maybe we should anticipate that and not send the Marines to Guam. So they didn't.
So to his constituents in Georgia, just remember at election time, Hank Johnson doesn't do anything for anyone.
You're right. He's not any of those people that he mentioned. But doesn't he represent them?
Wow.
I think he's supposed to, but apparently that doesn't mean anything to him. So he didn't say anything about anyone being taken away unjustly, even though he's a U.S. congressman. Yeah, that is something to definitely keep in mind for next time. And how old is this guy now? He's got to be in his 80s, right?
Hank?
Got to be. No?
68, maybe?
68?
Yeah.
No, he's got to be at least late 70s, early 80s. Got to be.
70. In May, he turned 70 this month.
Wow.
Okay.
I came in under. I win.
Yeah. Wow. Are we playing the prices right?
No.
You got to come closest without going over?
Why not give it a shot?
Oh, no, he is 70 already. Yep, he's at 70 right now.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, he's genius. I mean, and spry and sharp as a tack.
But lazy.
but we can't get him to do anything.
Do something, man. What is your deal? So that was an immigration hearing, and
jeez,
those are always fun. It's nice to see that
That's
Congress
always
is
fun.
back in session. I'm sorry if we interrupted your spring break.
Well, we did, and I think they're a little irritated
Yeah, I
by
know.
that, and that's why they're going to go on vacation again real soon.
Wait, what's that?
Yeah, we got summer break coming up, right?
Yeah, we do. Yes, we do.
It's not long, actually. It's coming up real soon.
Yeah.
I mean, really soon.
Yeah, I have to find it.
Well, yeah, they
I
can't
wouldn't
be
be
expected
surprised.
to be in D.C.
It's probably Memorial Day, right? I bet they're gone right after Memorial Day.
They're gonna be in D.C. this whole month.
I don't know. That's a lot to ask.
Come on now.
That's a lot to ask. 888-933-93. More coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
And we're back. And this time, we're pissed. Doesn't really work when you say it like that, does it? No, it doesn't have the same...
This time we're pissed.
Doesn't have the same je ne sais quoi,
Tooth snaps,
if you will.
I'm pissed.
Yeah. Got some tweets here. Let's see. McPockets tweets. What is the rhyme or reason that sometimes Jeffy shows up all week? Cookies? Amber run him off?
Oh.
Too lazy to go home? No,
Here you go.
He's in for stew all week. This week is the rhyme and reason, and so he might as well just hang out here as well. That's I guess that's
the rhyme or reason.
Hang on.
Yeah, that is the rhyme or reason.
As long as we're talking about people showing up or not. You remember earlier, like last week, I said that the House was in for 40 weekdays, off for 39 weekdays. I just did the math going forward, and there's always the Keith math disclaimer here. But between now and Labor Day, they're going to be in for 42 days and off for 49 weekdays.
Wow. That's a pretty good schedule.
That is.
If you can get it. That's a good schedule.
They're working for us for 42 days.
Right.
So
they sure
proud
are.
of that.
I got to recheck this math. This can't be right. This can't be
Seems
right.
hard to believe. And then on July 24th, when you get to that,
Are there even
when you
that
get to
many
that
days?
point, then they're off until after Labor Day.
All right. Yeah.
Wow.
Are there that many days between now? I'm going to rework this math. This can't be
you might
right.
wanna do
Holy
that.
crap.
Lady Zorro, 76. I would love to see a new Schoolhouse Rock cartoon character to replace I'm Just a Bill here on Capitol Hill. What would I'm a Big, Beautiful Bill look like? Well, it'd be big and it'd be beautiful, I think. Bunter Hayden, pardoned crack connoisseur, tweets, hold on, does Mr. Capsize not know that they're called Latinx?
Oh, right.
Or as Chris would say, Latinx.
Latinx.
Okay, yeah, my math was off. I'm sorry. On for 42, off for 48, not 49. Excuse me.
Wow, you really screwed up.
Wow.
That's embarrassing. So it still is. They're off for more time than they're on. Again, that's incredible.
It's
incredible.
Stupid. You're Congress.
From its rhino season, we now go to the only infrastructure Dallas-Fort Worth government cares about, and it is Jerry World.
There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
That's great.
Uh-huh.
So, what was that, $2 billion, $3 billion? It was built in 2008,
Yeah, I mean, it was cheap compared to what we're spending these days.
Yeah, because it's 16 years old. It's getting a little long in the tooth now. They need a new one.
Is.
They need a new one that we need to pay for.
They actually do.
They do. That only seats, I think it can go up to 100,000. They need something that seats 200,000. So they can fit more of the opposing team's fans in the stadium.
Oh, no.
Than they currently do.
Which they will need in the future.
Yes, they will. I mean, they need it now. When they play the Packers, it's like a home game for Green Bay. It's amazing what's going on there. All right, 888-900-3393. One of the things we talked about yesterday was President Trump discussing the tattoos on the knuckles of the deported El Salvador citizen, Abrego Garcia. Just a little reminder.
Family man.
Here's what transpired with that ABC reporter.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a dispute.
Well, wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
He had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
Right.
Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was photoshopped. So let me
That was photoshopped. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. But I picked you, Terry. But you're not being very nice. He had MS-13 tattooed.
We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry, Do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture.
And you think it was Photoshop? Well,
here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Go look at his hand. He had MS-13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them. I want to turn to Ukraine, sir.
Terry,
I want to get to Ukraine.
No.
He won't let it go.
He had MS, as clear as you can be, not interpreted. This is why people no longer believe the news, because
when
it's
he was
fake
photographed
news.
in El Salvador, they aren't there. But let's just go on. They aren't there when he's in El Salvador.
Those are photoshopped too, right?
But they're there now, right?
I think so.
But they're
in
now.
your picture.
Terry.
Ukraine, sir.
He's got MS-13 on his knuckles.
That's a problem.
Okay?
We'll take a look at that.
It's such a disservice.
We'll take a look at that,
Why don't
sir.
you just say, yes, he does, and, go on to something else?
It's contested.
Oh, man.
Terry, I know everybody was happy, at least many in the timeline of this clip were, Trump destroys ABC reporter.
Except he's wrong. That's the problem.
Right.
And I guess our take on this is different than everybody else who talked about it. But let me just say this. It's unconscionable. It's unacceptable that the president wasn't better prepared for that interview by his staff. His staff blew it completely. Multiple people could have and should have told him that the actual letters and numbers, MS-13, were not tattooed on his hand. It was a representation above the tattoo about what may or may not stand for MS-13. There's questions about even that aspect of it. There's disagreement on whether or not it actually stands for that. But he did not have MS-13 on his knuckles. He didn't. That doesn't mean the Maryland man isn't MS-13. I don't know if he is or not. It doesn't mean that he should be brought back to Maryland. It just means the tattoo was actually not real. And President Trump should have known that. And his staff let him down on that. It's unbelievable to me. As for the rest of it, let me just state for the record again that I don't care at all about the Republican Party. I don't give a rat's anus about it. I care about the founding principles of this nation. Now, because it's generally the Republican Party that is more in line with those principles, that is who I normally fight for and vote for. But I have zero interest in party politics. I don't care. Neither do I care about any specific politician, except as they espouse those same principles. I voted for Donald Trump, and I like Donald Trump because he represents more of those principles than anybody else. And we all on this show have supported virtually everything he's done so far.
Absolutely.
But on one or two issues, I've expressed some concerns. I mean, must we be in lockstep with every syllable out of his mouth? I don't have any interest in supporting Donald Trump just because he is Donald Trump. I don't understand that, and I never have. I don't get it. There's no reason for it. The guy's not a religious leader. He's not Jesus. He's not a prophet. He's not my dad. So I'm not going to support him just to support him. So if you love Trump just because he's Trump and you support him no matter what he says or does, even if he's wrong, as he is in this particular case, this may not be the show for you. But if you like honesty and conservative constitutional values, then we'll continue to try to make the apocalypse bearable and even fun for you.
From time to time.
And we're just going to, maybe I said way too much, but that's where we are here. And that's where we've always been. And that's where I was with George W. Bush. That's where I was with Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan wasn't perfect either. He contributed to the nightmare we now face with immigration.
Yes.
By granting amnesty to 2 million of them at the time. In 85, 86, they were supposed to pay a penalty and then they could stay here forever. And man, that made everything worse. He was terrible on that. The Iran-Contra scandal wasn't great. And then George W. Bush was terrible on immigration, especially toward the end when he prosecuted the border agents, Ramos and Campion. Yeah. So, just because they're Republicans or just because we're supposed to love them, and I do, but when there's disagreement with them, Are we supposed to just ignore it and not say anything? I think in this case, it's imperative to talk about it because nobody has told him that was indeed Photoshopped.
Yes. Thank you.
And that's going to make everything else along the way more difficult because he was just dead wrong on something he was adamant about and wouldn't even let the guy continue. It's not good.
I know.
It's not good.
I thought Terry Moran, the ABC News reporter, did a great job.
Yeah, he tried to move on.
Yeah, he tried to, okay, fine.
And yes, ABC's been terrible.
Absolutely.
On
100%.
Almost everything.
And still are on multiple levels.
Mm-hmm.
But just that particular, we're talking about this specific account.
Yeah, right. Right. The letters weren't there. Does it represent those letters? Maybe. I don't know. Some people think it does. Some say it doesn't. I don't know. I'm not an MS-13 gang member. I don't know whether or not those tattoos are there for that purpose. Wow. I don't know.
You don't care. You're like Hank Johnson.
Jeffy, what gang are you in? Is there like they got like a cookie?
Yes.
Or on your knuckle there or some other?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if we were to Photoshop a C above it, that would mean what, your Cookie Monster?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, Senator Lindsey Graham was also talking about Abrego Garcia yesterday with the head of the DEA.
Based on your time as a DEA agent in the field, particularly in Mexico, these tattoos are consistent with MS-13 associations.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Do you know of any other set of combinations that would suggest some other organization this represents?
With this particular one, no, sir.
Okay, so he says it does. It does represent. I believe it. You know, it probably does.
Yeah.
But you notice the actual tattoo MS-13 that's not on his
It's not on the
knuckles.
thing that Lindsey Graham just held up there?
No. Does it represent that? Yeah, according to the gang expert, it does.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, look carefully, though. There's
Checking. Not seeing MS-13.
I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, boy, Lindsey's looking good in that still shot, am I right?
Isn't he? Yeah, he looks great.
Go back to bed. I love it when the pause lands on the perfect spot.
Yeah, that's what
he looks like when he's snoring.
That's perfect.
But please, if you're in the president's inner circle, please tell him the truth on this. I don't know. How is it possible that nobody has? How is it possible? Inexcusable. It really is inexcusable.
They come after him for everything else.
Yes.
They come after him for everything that's good.
And then in the eyes of some, it adds legitimacy to the other things. And I don't want that to happen.
And that's exactly what happens.
Man. Here's an aerial view of a holding facility in Texas where members of the Tren de Aragua are being held.
Prepare to get sad. This is going to be like a Sarah McLachlan animal commercial here. Watch this. Here we go. Oh, S.O.S.
Oh, wow.
Help us.
Stop it.
Sucks to be you.
Stop it.
Okay, did we get the shot? Okay, we can go back to playing our dirt soccer.
Hey, congratulations, guys. That was really, really cool.
It was moving.
Really
I think is the word you're looking for.
Should hire some
they look
skywriters and print out FU.
Right. How did they know that helicopter or drone or whatever was going to be there for them? It's almost like it was pre-planned.
It does almost seem like it was pretty.
Well, yeah, because
congrats, they learned English too.
Unless they go out there every day and form the letters SOS with their bodies.
I mean, what else you got to do? I mean, it's prison, barbed wire. You're kind of bored. You're like, hey, today's message is SOS.
Time.
Maybe we could do a dance routine next time. I don't know.
No, next time we're gonna do the Beatles album cover. Help. Stupid.
Meanwhile, Chuck Schumer had this to say about President Trump after his first 100 days in office.
Americans are noticing. The polls this week show Trump has the lowest 100-day approval rating since they started polling 80 years ago. The lowest.
Pause it. What's being left unsaid here is that his is much lower.
Oh, it's not going to be left unsaid in this clip.
Okay, good. And go ahead.
Okay.
Even worse, 72% of Americans think it's likely that Trump's handling of the economy will walk us directly into a recession. People who hate what Trump is proposing. Yes.
There's a poll out today that has your approval ratings lower than any other congressional leader at 17%. Are you concerned that you may be a liability for your party?
Polls come and go. Our party is united. We're on our front foot. We're stepping forward and going after Trump and having real success.
Okay, that only happens. That only happens to apply to President Trump, not to his poll.
So yeah, the audio was a little low in the reporter. What did the reporter say exactly after Schumer makes a point to say how low Trump's approval rating is?
Your approval rating is down to 17%. What do you have to
lower
say
than
about
any Democrat leader?
I heard it was even lower than that yesterday. I mean, I'll give
Polls
you 17.
come and go after I leaned on ones for the last 80 years.
That is thank you for the. I don't know who asked that question, but that's brilliant.
He's primed to lose to AOC if she wants to run for his seat, man.
He's down by 20 points in polls, but they come and go, Jeffy. They come and go. Don't worry about that. That's amazing.
Incredible, huh?
He's down to 17% approval. Not 70, 17. Right. Wow.
Go for that seat there, AOC. I mean, if she's deciding between running for the presidency and his Senate seat, boy, that looks a lot.
Yeah, she's got
looks very vulnerable right now.
Solid shot at that. Really solid shot. Let me tell you about ivermectin mebendazole. It's the medication that you probably heard about all over the news and in your social feeds. It's a mix of two different medications that have been around for years, but combined, they're being talked about as one of the best breakthroughs in modern medicine. Ivermectin is a treatment for parasites. Mebendazole is a treatment for worms. And it's been recently tested to treat cancer. It cleanses the body of toxins, and it allows your body to heal. So Jace just launched a brand new use-specific case that's a 90-day supply of compounded ivermectin plus mebendazole. Jace is your fastest and most important, most affordable option on the market. They're offering ivermectin mebendazole for 35% less than you can find it elsewhere. So get your own 90-day supply of compounded ivermectin plus mebendazole in the parasite use case from Jace. That's Jase, jace.com. All right, 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter if you'd like to get a hold of us.
Kamala Harris came out of her hole and gave a speech last night. I know you're looking forward to hearing some of what she has to say.
Cannot wait.
That's something.
Cannot wait.
So that'll be good.
She was awesome.
Yeah, she was.
She was awesome.
As always.
Yeah.
Has she ever not been awesome?
No.
No, she has not.
If I led you down that road that she was, I apologize.
Yeah, I was about to jump down your throat, my friend. All right, more coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
With a few tweets, Jimmy Dimples tweets, Terry, the reporter from ABC.
Yeah, Terry Moran.
Trying to tear the MS-13 subject away from Trump was like trying to tear a Kexi cookie from Jeffy's mouth. Yeah, almost.
I understand.
Almost.
Let me eat! That's a strange analogy. Not sure.
Is it?
Yeah,
you think?
Why?
I don't know. I don't get it. I'm sure it has nothing to do with fat shaming because
I didn't pick up on that at all.
Oh, yeah, you didn't even have that impression?
No,
okay.
sir.
Keith didn't even think that.
See, I didn't even think that, Jeffy.
Because I kind of did.
You're a little sensitive,
really?
I think. A little hypersensitive, if you will.
Yeah, that's a problem. Jeffy, you should maybe get over that.
Yep. Toughen up. Toughen up.
From Squatching Duck, was the Associated Press, the AP, in on the coordination and timing of the S.O.S. thing there? Yeah, with the
that's very possible.
Aragua. Must have.
So how are they communicating with the outside? Now I want to know that, too.
Good question. I'd like to know. From Cougar Sasquatch. I like Trump. I like football. But I love Jeffy. Now, time for breakfast. Let me eat.
Let me eat. Okay. Aw.
Huh? Right?
Thank you.
That was nice.
Yeah. It was nice.
Does that make you feel better?
Nice. Mm-hmm. Nice little thing at the end there for you.
Sure.
There was a lighthearted moment at the White House yesterday, as apparently Elon Musk's time with the Trump administration did, in fact, come to a close.
Wow.
We were told, okay, he can only be in office for, I think it's 130 days, and yesterday was 100.
Right.
So I guess they're wrapping it up, or the day before yesterday.
Elon wears a lot of hats for this administration and his life. So
he does. But
Elon, I love the double hat, by the way.
Oh, look.
He's the only one that can do that. Get away with it.
Well, Mr. President, they say I wear a lot of hats.
Oh, my gosh. See?
Get it?
Even my hat has a hat.
Good time.
That's fun.
That's just
good, clean fun.
Even
right
my
there.
hat has a hat. You see.
See?
Okay.
See what he did there?
He was less awkward with that joke, though. I'll tell you that. He was smiling.
Oh,
right.
I know. He was on.
Right.
He was good.
Good stuff.
So meanwhile, then there's Kamala Harris. She gave her first speech since getting her anus kicked back in November.
Yep.
Here's some of her ramblings last night, if we can get through them, which I doubt.
But sadly, we have seen quite the opposite over these past few months.
Hello?
Now, I know tonight's event happens to
Did you fall
coincide
asleep
with the
there for a minute?
100 days after the inauguration,
Happens to fall.
and I'll leave it to others to give a full accounting of what has happened so far.
Will ya?
But I will say this.
Thank you for sparing us that.
Instead of an administration working to advance America's highest ideals,
Right.
we are witnessing the wholesale abandonment of those ideals.
No, we're not.
Wow.
No, we are not.
We're supposed to applaud here? Okay.
Yeah, the lemmings go ahead and applaud, even though that couldn't be further from the truth.
Wow.
I'm glad we cut that clip where we did. I couldn't take much
is there
more.
is there more Kamala?
There was more, but
No, I mean that we have to
On
air.
that- no.
'Cause I didn't look-
No,
okay.
no,
Because I know
no.
her hubby's dug Emhoff. You know him, you love him.
I really don't.
He has.
I
No,
don't
you
know
do.
him
You
or
do.
love him.
You do.
No.
He's.
I don't. No, you're wrong about that,
you
Jeffy.
really do. I know.
I
you
know it
do.
probably seems like I do, but no, I don't. But anyway.
He's a little wound up these days.
Dougie?
He got it. Yes.
Oh, not the second
Oh,
gentleman.
he gets violent when he gets wound up, I hear.
Yes, he does. I'd be careful. So he posted on his X account, is where I saw it. He probably posted it on all his social media.
He's probably on Truth.
Read my statement on my removal from the United States Holocaust Memorial Council.
Oh, wow.
And he posted a big, long post that he was informed of his removal and, silence is never an option and, what a believer he is in the Holocaust Memorial and how he will never give up. And, Emhoff was one of a dozen new members appointed to the council in the final days of Biden's presidency. And so Trump got rid of them all. He just removed them all the Biden appointees. Have a nice day. Get out of here. Ron Klain.
Wow. Klain was on it too?
Susan Rice.
Wow.
Tom Perez. Anthony Brunel. And Doug Emhoff and former Rep David Cicilline of Rhode Island.
Oh, I miss them all terribly right now. Oh, wow. I didn't even know they were gone until this moment, but I've already been hit by a wave.
You're going to be okay?
No, I don't think so.
Do you need to go home?
I might need to just go home.
Is this a bereavement thing you're facing?
It is.
I am so sorry.
I need time to deal with my grief. Okay, I'm over it now. Now I'm over it. But, man, it hit hard for a second there.
Yeah, clearly.
Thought I wasn't going to make it, but all right, I'm all right
We
now.
were stressing for you.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
goodbye, Doug.
So goodbye.
Take care.
Goodbye, Doug.
Sorry, you're not on the Memorial Council anymore.
Read my statement.
Yeah.
How about no?
Okay, little
I don't
guy.
care about your statement. I don't care. So, has he appointed other people already in their stead?
I did not see that. I did not see that. Yeah, I'm sure he has. I'm sure he has, or he certainly probably has people in mind. Yeah,
either has or will. And the doofus Kamala Harris picked for vice president is also making the rounds. I don't know why we have to continue with this guy. Timmy Walz explained why he was picked to be her running mate.
I knew I was on the ticket. I would argue because we did a lot of amazing progressive things in Minnesota that improved people's lives.
Positive.
But I also was on
I would argue it's because you're not Jewish. Because she should have gone with Josh Shapiro, and she didn't.
And you were second or third choice down the line.
Yeah.
We also know that you didn't pick up the phone the first time that they called.
Right.
To let you know that she was going to pick you because you didn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
But then they got a camera nearby. Remember that? And then they filmed it just as it unfolded. It was so natural. It was so incredibly smooth and natural.
Hello
Kamala.
there.
I am surprised you called, Kamala.
You are picking me?
We would like you to be vice president.
What a stunning surprise that is.
This is my surprise face.
All right, let's see if we can get through this.
No, we can't.
I
Probably not.
also was on the ticket, quite honestly, because I could code talk to white guys watching football, fixing their truck, doing that I could put them at ease. I was the permission structure to say, look, you can do this and vote for this. And you look across those swing states, with the exception of Minnesota, we didn't get enough of.
I love that.
With the exception of Minnesota.
Sorry, I mean, look. They put me in this role because I'm a man, and I'm a white man, and I do white man things.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we lost every swing state, but look, that's why they put me on the ticket, because I'm a white man. He sucks.
Incredible.
Yeah, he posted all those working on his truck videos.
Camo hat. Remember the Kamala camo hat?
The hunting thing?
Yes.
Yeah, jeez.
So you could tell he'd never been hunting a day in his life.
And then we found out the coaching stories were not altogether 100% true. Someone called them lies.
He was a lying sack of crap.
You remember when John Kerry in 2004, he goes to, I don't know where he was, Wisconsin, Minnesota. I'm here to see about a hunting license. Remember that?
Yeah.
I need to get me a hunting license.
Yeah.
I mean, they are so fake, man.
Democrat governor who seems to appreciate Donald Trump is Kentucky's Andy Beshear. This isn't the first time he's said something nice about President Trump.
I will say that Donald Trump's FEMA is doing a very good job in Kentucky responding to natural disasters. He has okayed individual assistance to our families in 2 separate natural disasters, and for that, we're grateful.
Wow.
How about that?
He did not have to say President Trump by name, but he did.
No, he did not.
How about that?
At least he's being honest,
I like that a lot. Yeah, good for him. Good for him for telling the truth for a change.
He pretty much has to, though, because, his people in Kentucky know the truth.
Yeah.
So,
that's true.
Yeah. He has to own up to that.
Or he could just say nothing.
That's true.
You could just not. You could avoid the topic altogether, and most Democrats would do that.
He was asked, I think, about FEMA. He could have just left it at, FEMA's done a good job. Ever since we've had a need here, going back to last year, FEMA's done a good job. But he went out of his way to say President Trump.
Now, HHS Secretary Robert Kennedy. Hope we get to hear him speak for a long time.
I can't
5,
anymore.
10, 15 minutes.
Seriously, I know.
Jeffy, can you make it
terrible? It's a terrible. I'm a terrible person.
Yeah,
you are.
But
we all
can't.
Full stop.
Do that.
Full stop.
I can't do it.
31 seconds.
Can
you handle 31 seconds?
No, I want him to have I want him to have an AI voice box.
This is a shocking admission.
Something. I want him to come out with.
What he's about to say is what we voted for, as far as unveiling dark truths in our government. And so this is kind of shocking to hear from a HHS secretary.
All right. I'll
we
try.
have ended HHS as the role as the vector, the principal vector in this country for child trafficking.
Wow.
And during the Biden administration, HHS became a collaborator in child trafficking and for sex and for slavery. And we have ended that, and we're very aggressively going out and trying to find these children, the 300,000 children that were lost by the Biden administration.
In what way were they collaborators?
Yeah, like
working with those NGOs and stuff. Yeah, that's handing them over to people that we're totally their family.
Oh wow!
And then the Biden HHS was like, okay, here's your family. That's stunning right there. And it's going to be.
And that's how 300,000 were lost under Biden.
Yeah,
Incredible. Nobody talks
amazing.
about that. Nobody talks about that at all. Man, when the first Trump administration, that's all they talked about. What about the kids? What about the children? Where are the kids? You don't know where they are. Where's that?
Right.
Where's that on the Biden situation?
Holy cow.
So despicable. It just shows they don't care about anything but politics.
Yeah.
That's all the mainstream media cares about.
And it shows you when you give the power of such a large entity like the U.S. federal government and put it in the hands of evil, really bad things happen with it.
Oh, you mean evil does what evil does?
Evil does what evil does.
Is that from a movie or a song or...
What are you doing today?
An independent thought? Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Really? Are you?
And not a complete.
You know something?
What?
Not a.
I got a real problem.
Complete non sequitur. But what are you doing today, Jeffy? And honestly, just to muck and fudge, there's a bingo square. Jeffy, evil does what evil does.
Powerful,
right?
Powerful.
Right.
Yeah. It's hard to argue with.
You can't.
No, you can't.
Okay.
You really
it's not
cannot.
hard. You can't.
Michelle Obama was having a conversation on her podcast the other day.
Oh, no.
That I know you missed because nobody saw it.
That's for sure.
The first time anybody will see it and hear it is right now. Some people think she made an interesting admission.
Oh, no.
I wanted to talk, Marlon, a bit about, just so proud of how you are being a role model for dealing with a child that's transgender.
Absolutely.
And that's,
Absolutely.
that warms my heart, particularly as a black man.
Whoa.
Would you
What?
care to
What?
share that journey?
Okay. Okay, hold on.
She just admitted she's a black man.
She absolutely did.
Now, there are some who would say she's talking about her guest, but
those are people who don't understand the situation. Only those people who are so naive. Those are the ones who would think she's talking about her guest.
And that's, that warms my heart, particularly as a black man.
As a black She put that very poorly.
She's just being honest.
She's finally
just
being honest.
That warms my heart, particularly as a black man. I mean, she's talking about herself there, and then that's perfect. That is perfect.
And that's,
Here we
that
go.
warms my heart, particularly as a black man.
Yeah.
I mean, facts are facts.
I mean, the conspiracy is no more.
Oh, man. No, she just admitted it. She just admitted it. It's like when she said that Barack was from Kenya.
Right?
Yeah.
How many times did she say that? Like 2 or 3 times she said it.
Right.
So great.
That's... There you go.
There you go.
There
Proof
you go.
positive. Don't tell me that's a conspiracy theory anymore.
Now we have her on record as saying,
Yeah, we do.
There's no innuendo. She said it herself.
So it's not mean. It's just simply the truth.
Just telling you the truth. She said it.
We're just quoting her now.
That's all we're doing.
Wow. She is going to regret that.
I think actually, if you watch it, she does
Big
a little
time.
pause there. I think she did immediately.
She realized
watch
what she
this.
said,
Watch
yeah.
this. She has a little pause built in.
As a black man, would you care to share that journey of...
Well, I learned...
Yeah, her brain was like,
no.
crap.
Brother.
Is this live?
So great.
Wait a minute. It's not even live. They could have...
No, absolutely.
They could have edited that.
Because they're not editing truth.
Is that what
you don't edit truth.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. There you go.
There you go.
All right. It's a new month. New month means a new cookie. And our May cookie of the month at Kexi.com is German chocolate. This cookie is inspired by Jackie's mom, one of the sweetest people to ever live on this planet. She really loved German chocolate cake. And in honor of Mother's Day and her birthday, we created a rich chocolate cookie filled with a creamy coconut center, loaded with semi-sweet chocolate chips, toasted pecans, shredded coconut, and then it's finished with a decadent chocolate drizzle. And our Mother's Day box, which looks a little something like this. In fact, it looks just like this because this is one of them. These are going Really, they're almost gone, and it'll probably sell out by later on today. But you can still get one. Place your order as soon as possible for delivery by Mother's Day. We got a 5-star review from Jeremy who said, I bought a 12-pack. I ate one the first day, then put them in the freezer, like recommended. It was very clear on day 2 that I had to have these cookies. I put all of them down. I am now eating them all. It's disgusting.
Good man, Jeremy. Good man.
No, it's the way.
It's not disgusting.
The way it should be done.
Yes,
Jeremy, they're delicious and they're really good for you.
And you've learned a valuable lesson. No need to put them in a freezer.
Exactly. You just eat them, and you don't have to freeze them.
Eat them.
So, yeah, it works out really well. Go to Kexi. These are the best cookies you will ever taste. Go to Kexi.com to order yours. Kexi, Kexi.com.
Subscribe today at blazetv.com/Pat. Pat Gray Unleashed. We'll be right back.
So, the minerals deal that was supposed to be signed a long time ago, and then Volodymyr Zelensky came to Washington, D.C. and didn't sign it.
Yeah.
And he got chastised a bit for it, as he should have been.
Over 2 months ago.
They finally signed it.
Oh, interesting.
Finally signed the minerals deals. Was it $500 billion or something? What was it?
It was a lot.
I forget all the details on it, but it was a lot. Yeah, we're going to get some rare earth minerals from Ukraine.
So
for our trouble here.
Now that we have this worked out,
yeah,
we're coming for Greenland.
You said we've already gone to Greenland.
Well, I mean, we just got to plant the flag. Make no mistake,
we
it's
still
ours.
Haven't planted the flag.
It's ours, but we haven't officially planted the flag and say do something.
What about the Dutch or the Danes or the doofuses? Yeah. What about them?
Yeah,
what about them?
Tough.
Okay, good. All right, I'm on board with it. Let's take it.
Absolutely.
Let's take it.
Absolutely.
I don't want Canada, but we need Greenland. So let's get that done.
Plant the flag.
Get her done.
Yeah, I don't care who you send over there. Send someone that you like. Mm-hmm. If you want JD to go back,
whatever.
Fine.
That's fine. Yeah. I don't care who it is. Just somebody who can plant a flag into the ground.
Make sure they're filming.
Let
plant the flag. Post it. Post it on the White House Instagram. Do something.
Yep.
Hey, King of Danes. Do something.
Let's start strip mining that place right now.
They're offloading the equipment right now.
A Tesla firebomber was in court the other day. But the judge doesn't think that prison is the best place for this alleged perpetrator.
Bria and John, the government wanted Owen McIntyre to spend the time before trial behind bars, but the judge and Boston sided with the defense in this case, which cited multiple medical issues facing the 19-year-old, including autism spectrum disorder, gender dysphoria, and ADHD. McIntyre's attorney argued the teen should be released, citing serious and ongoing medical needs.
Wait, since when is gender dysphoria a health issue?
Thank you.
Look, you can't have it both ways.
That's for sure.
Okay, when it's convenient for you, it's not it's a disease, and when it's not convenient, it's perfectly natural and normal, and it's good for them. Come on, which is it?
Right. Well, it is both ways. That's what they want.
Right.
That's what
it's just like climate change. They have it both ways.
Absolutely.
When it's hot, it's climate change. When it's cold, it's climate change. When it's about the same as ever,
it's climate
change. It's always climate change. Yep. And so let's let him finish if possible.
Treatments that could not or would not be provided while in federal detention. The defense filing says McIntyre is being treated for depression and since March has been receiving gender-affirming care. That care would likely be interrupted or terminated in federal custody.
Yeah, you don't want to interrupt that.
It would likely be interrupted.
So we got autism, spectrum disorder, general dysphoria. I'm sorry, gender dysphoria.
Combination
ADHD,
skin? Does he have combination skin too?
Is it his or her?
His
I mean, you want to make sure that you
do they
don't.
Yeah, combination scam.
That would be. I'd feel terrible for him if he had that.
The heartbreak of psoriasis.
Heartbreak of psoriasis. I'm making a list here for the judge.
Varicose veins.
Wait, psoriasis.
Yeah.
Vein.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it mesothelioma, I think? Mesothelioma.
Oh, yeah.
We got probably that going on.
Could possibly have drank the water at Camp Lejeune.
Camp Lejeune water. I'm just making sure that the judge gets this.
Never been anywhere near Camp Lejeune, but we're pretty sure that he's been affected.
Never been exposed to it.
Been affected by it.
Asbestos exposure will kill you.
Yeah. So don't, for the love of heaven, don't put him in jail. Don't do it. You can't, they can't handle it. So they can handle, screwing up and firebombing a Tesla.
Right.
That's fine. But not the consequences. They can't handle the consequences. Wow. It's amazing, isn't it?
It sure is.
So after the federal government dropped a case against South Dakota ranchers who are using land they always used,
yes,
Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins had a message to farmers and ranchers in this country.
We are excited to announce this morning that USDA, right now at this moment, is launching a portal at usda.gov for all American farmers, ranchers, and producers who are subject to the similar egregious lawfare from the Biden administration. We will work with our counterparts, including my great colleague, Secretary Kristi Noem, and others across the Trump government to address any other government overreach in situations like this. We must ensure that our farmers and our ranchers have not and will not be targeted for living the American way of life.
Good.
That's really good.
So they're launching a farmer's portal, which means you can transfer from one farm to another farm.
I don't know that that's
in the
how it works.
transfer portal window. And we're in the spring farmer portal right now, right? So you can go to another farm if you want. So that's good.
That's good.
Right, that is good.
That's good.
That's good.
So
I've been
the
worried
South
about
Dakota farmer is now going to end up in Kansas
or Wisconsin, or
Nebraska. Could
there's
use
a
some help.
bunch of farms that want them.
There's a lot of farms and ranches.
A lot
in
of
Nebraska.
farms.
All right.
It's got all kinds of opportunities.
I'm so glad though that this dispute ended for the Mon family, because this fence has been in place for 75 years. I mean, it's been on maps for over 50 or 60.
And
I don't
it took the Trump administration to drop that lawsuit.
The Biden administration showed up in tactical gear.
Unbelievable.
I mean, that's
incredible.
Yeah, unbelievable.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Triple 933 Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Tell me about this Democrat state rep, Nick Schultz, who's blocking a Democrat California bill.
So there's a child sex trafficking bill in California. It is sponsored by a Democrat, and apparently
he's blocking it.
And some people, like this individual, don't like the fact that there's going to be a felony charge for those that would be purchasing teenagers. It's a very strange obstruction, but yeah, this guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I understand that you just got to the legislature, but this has been debated, and Assemblymember Krell is an expert on this issue and prosecuted folks. I mean, do you guys not trust her?
I fully trust Assemblymember Krell, but I also trust my experience as well. I, too, as you know, am a former prosecutor. I was part of the La Luz del Mundo prosecution in Los Angeles. So when it comes to protecting children and going after sex offenders and people that are exploiting children, I, too, have that experience. And as much as I do trust my colleague, Assemblymember Krell, I also trust my personal experience and my own subject matter expertise, if you will, on the subject, as well as that of the committee.
Sure. So right now in Sacramento, there is a well-known blade. KCRA did a documentary on it. It's just a few miles away from here. Sheriff Jim Cooper has said that right now, if a John were to go and try to purchase a 16 or 17-year-old on that blade, and law enforcement were to intervene, because of a judge's order right now in Sacramento, law enforcement would not be able to put that person in jail because it's not the solid felony that law enforcement has been asking it to be. So I just want to make sure, like, you're okay with 16 and 17-year-olds continuing to be purchased on this blade for the next year or until you have to dissect this issue in the fall, and these Johns getting let go and just issued with citations?
Well, I don't agree with the premise of the question, but what I would say is I'm not okay with any child anywhere being exploited, but the solution that we craft, the solution that we pass needs to make sense, it needs to be equitable, it needs to be comprehensive. And while I appreciate Assemblymember Krell for bringing the proposal forward, and I know that her heart is on this issue, it's connected in a way that few other legislators can really be equal to or understand. It's also my job to make sure that we're not just passing knee-jerk policy, but we're having good, substantive conversation and landing on a good spot. So to the sheriff, the district attorney, and any other stakeholders, I hope that they'll continue to engage not just with Assemblymember Krell, but with all the members of the committee, with myself, with our staff, and our goal is to get a good solution delivered here as quickly as possible.
But you're standing in the way of a good solution.
The last I saw, Krell was going to have to drop the felony thing if she wants to get it passed.
So they don't want sex trafficking.
Nick Schultz does not want it to be a felony.
To be a felony.
Correct. I don't know, man. I don't know, but I know there's a town hall coming up tomorrow night if you want
is that weird?
Show up and talk to California's 44th Assembly Member District Nick Schultz about this.
That is really bizarre.
I know, of all the hills to die on.
Yeah.
No felonies if you want to purchase a teenager for sex. That's where I draw the line. Jeffy, what are your thoughts?
Crazy.
Nah, I'm happy that they need to work this out, and we're going after these perpetrators who, they're not actually purchasing; they're just renting, and so.
Okay, it's
so if they bring back the
should
child.
be a felony or not a felony.
They want it to be a felony. Yeah, let it be a felony.
Okay, I want it to be a felony. Yeah, it should be a felony. Why would you have a problem with that?
I don't
understand.
Everything I've read, no one understands his point of view.
Because there's so many runaways and so many minors and so many drug addicted teens on the street selling themselves for sex.
Yeah,
that it's overwhelming.
Okay.
And maybe it wouldn't be overwhelming if you arrest the Johns and make it a felony.
Right.
I'm sure that's an argument that they're
might
having.
put a crimp in it.
Yeah, it probably would.
Yeah, I think it probably would.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense.
So congrats to child predators in California. Nick Schultz is
get to pay a fine
you.
and go home. Congratulations on that. That's weird.
Very strange.
Really weird.
Don't get it.
Also, there's a lady who wants to move back to the United States after moving to Africa. Is this because...
I don't know.
Was this a Trump thing?
I do not know.
Okay.
I just know that God bless Noah for going through this video. I said, hey, we don't need this today, whenever, But he went through and found, the 24 plus bleeps. But
wow.
Just always know that America is still the greatest country in the history of the world.
All right.
But y'all, I'd rather go back to America and deal with the racism in America.
Oh, shut up.
Before I sit here in Africa and deal with the bull robbery, the bull fraud, the bull scams, the bull
scams.
Too expensive.
Too expensive.
Not having no snacks.
No snacks. No
having no food.
Wait, pause it for a second.
Right.
Wait a minute. No snacks.
Well, hold on a second.
She doesn't look like she hasn't been there too long, then. I'm just
now, if this is Pat Gray Unleashed, what she actually said was, ain't having no snacks.
Oh, so they do have some
So
snacks.
to Jeffy's point, she obviously has been having snacks.
So obviously she hasn't been over there that long.
Somebody should have told her before she moved to Africa, there's not going to be any snacks there. Right?
And they may have it. She didn't believe them. And bless her heart, she moved. She did actually follow through.
Yeah, she did. She moved to the continent of Africa. Do we know what country she resides?
I don't know that she ever said.
All right. Let's let her continue because this is
not having no snacks.
Not having no snacks.
Not having no food.
Not having no food, so she's got some food.
No hot water.
No electricity, no hot water.
What's that called? That be coming down.
What's it called?
Animals and scorpions outside the house.
Wait, there's animals and scorpions.
Spiders. Big-ass lizards. Colorful lizards you ain't never seen
Texas.
before.
She lives
all
in Texas.
Room with you, sleeping with you. All the people trying to scam you when you go outside, thinking you rich. So they trying to get more money off of you. I'm really trying to wrap my head around it.
So am I.
I'm really trying to wrap my head around how are Americans coming to Africa and being happy. Please comment down below. Because for me, I'm ready to go. Okay. And I always used to say, if it's up to me, it will be. And I'm going to go out to Africa and make it happen. No, I don't want to. I want to take my business back to America. I want to open up shop back in America, open up my dentist office and all the stuff that I was going to do.
She's going to have a dentist.
I'm going there.
Electricity. And the only time our electricity get cut off is when we don't pay the bill.
Okay.
And we got it so good now, we got prepaid electricity. So if we forget to pay the bill, we put some money on that prepaid thing and it comes right back on in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
In less than 2 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
This right here didn't come on for 14 hours yesterday.
14 hours.
I can't deal.
The electricity was off for 14 hours?
Don't get me wrong. When I'm outside,
inexcusable.
I'm having fun. I love people. But when I come back to reality, when you come back home, home is where the heart is, right?
Right.
When you come back home, you're supposed to feel comfortable. You're supposed to be happy. I'm not happy.
She's not happy.
No.
In Africa. She's not happy.
Where you look outside and all you see
happy.
is turkeys and ducks and chickens and sheep and malnourished cows.
This is
old malnourished cows.
Now it's possible
You don't
that
want
she
that.
has lost a lot of weight. I was thinking about that.
Yeah, it is
It is possible without the snacks that she has lost a lot of weight. Sounds like she's got plenty of livestock outside to put down and cook up, though.
Yeah, but she called them malnourished cows, though. You don't want that.
No, you don't want to
That's
be
an eyesore
eating
right there.
malnourished cows. No.
Do what you got to do.
And I hate it when your electricity bill cuts into your snack buying experiences because you got to have the snacks.
You do.
So sometimes I got to decide between my electric bill
and my snacks.
And snacks are winning every time for me. I don't know about you. But
I mean, I will say, seriously, I commend her for actually doing it because we hear all the time from multiple celebrities for sure, that they're going to leave the country. And again, we don't know why she left the country, but she obvioly thought it was going to be.
Said.
We obviously know that she thought it was going to be better than the racism here in America.
Right.
And
she found out not so much.
It's not.
Not so much.
It's not.
It's sad. It's too bad she moved because now she wants to come back.
Yeah.
And I don't know where she lived when she was here. Was it Texas?
Yeah, it better not be Texas because we got them colorful lizards and big spiders and snakes and whatnot.
We got scorpions here, too.
Yeah, we don't know what the reason. Again, we don't know why she left. So I hope that she's able to come back if she wants to.
Right. I hope she can.
She's on the lam in Africa.
Didn't seem like it.
No, she did.
No. But if she comes back to Texas, there's going to be some property taxes to pay. Those are out of control.
Well, those are going away, I thought the Texas legislature was...
they're going to fix that. They're going to get rid of property tax. That'd be great. There's a group that plans a mass protest. In June. And it's End Texas Property Taxes.
We're done.
Website.
Done.
We're done.
.org.
I like that.
But you don't need apostrophe because that'll mess your computer up. It's just we're done.
We're done.
No, we are done.
End property taxes. Secure our land. On June 14th, 2025, Texans are coming together at the state capitol in Austin to stand against an out-of-control government who continues to ignore the will of the people.
Yes.
It's time to end property taxes, secure and take back our land from foreign interests, and protect the future of our great state. No more false promises.
Good.
I like this so far.
I do too. Every state needs this.
Like the freedom fighters at Gonzales, the Alamo, and San Jacinto, who stood for freedom and welcomed allies from beyond Texas, we welcome all who believe in liberty to stand with us.
All right.
Nation is watching and looking to Texas to lead the way. If we take a stand together, we can prove what's possible when we, the people, take the responsibility for our future and reclaim our right to self-governance. The government won't fix this, but a unified Texas can.
Yeah.
Right.
Our movement isn't about politics or fundraising. It's about uniting for the state we love and the values we refuse to surrender. Let's prove that the Texas spirit is alive and well.
Yes.
Let's remind everyone what it means to be Texan. Yes!
Yeah.
All right.
We're fed up, fired up, and ready to stand as one. The time to act is now. Are you ready to stand? Yes!
Okay, so
I am.
Me too. You go, though, to the protest.
I'm going.
Yeah, you go.
June 14th, Yes.
I'll
It's
be
coming
right
June
there.
14th.
June 14th.
Right there.
I'll meet you there.
What day of the week is June 14th, Pat? You know off the top of your head?
I don't know off the top of my head.
That's a pet peeve. In fact, I think it's my biggest pet peeve now. When you're going to post a date or something like this,
tell
please
us what day it
put
is.
the day of the week on Saturday, June 14th.
It is Saturday?
Yeah, I'd like to know what time. What time? Yeah, don't make it incumbent upon us to
That's another thing. It
go to a
doesn't say.
calendar.
Well, they say go to the website, right? So I'm sure that has
That
it on
is
there.
the website.
Oh, there you go.
We'redone.org. So I'm all about this. So let's go down there and let's make sure to stand in property taxes.
Yes, please.
I hit count me in. I don't even know what time this is. So let's see. It doesn't say. You click on it, and again, when you click on it, it just says Texas Rally 6/14/25.
And it doesn't say the time even on the website.
Put the day of the week.
Well, just
the
get down
time.
there. Just get down there.
Am I supposed to just wander around in front of the Capitol on that day?
Yeah, yes, just get down there.
And just be like, oh, it's today. Okay, what time? I don't know. It's whenever people show up.
So show up at, say, 4 in the morning on June 14th.
Just to be safe.
And just sit on the steps of the Capitol building
There you go.
all day until
Somebody will show
suddenly a rally
Are
happens.
you here to end property taxes?
Yeah,
I am.
me too.
Me too. And the rally to start the rally.
Makes two of us.
Every state needs to do this.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
tired
my
of being a renter.
Yeah.
I'm just tired of it.
Right?
That's all you
and
are.
you permanently are.
Yes.
Even if you're buying your home, you never own it.
Yeah, try missing your property tax payment. See what happens to your property.
They'll take your property from you.
They
for
won't
sure.
think twice about it.
Nope. They don't
that-
care.
That's Flag Day, June 14th.
Okay.
So that's another way to remember
So
it.
should we bring a flag
But,
with us?
but again, I can't vouch for the time. I think it's a Saturday.
We already said.
Okay. Yeah, you just show up at 4 a.m. and just stay all day
for
What
until
if it's
the
not
rally
until the
happens.
night? What if it's not until like an evening thing?
You'll get to
Well,
spend the day in
7
downtown
o'clock.
Austin.
Right.
But I
which is
can't get too
beautiful.
far. I got to stay within visual,
Especially in
Capitol.
June. It'll probably
It'll be
only
beautiful.
105,
Not at 4.
106.
Not at 4 in the morning.
No, it'll be like 98, 4 in the morning.
Yep.
1,000% humidity.
Yep.
It'll be beautiful. Absolutely
You
beautiful.
cover yourself up with your flag.
Okay.
By the way, we were talking about global warming yesterday because in Pakistan it was going to hit 121 or whatever. I don't know if it did. But across the globe, right here in Dallas-Fort, what was the high yesterday here? 63?
It was cold.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was cold
It was
all
cold.
day.
Rainy and gross.
It was great this morning.
Torrential
walking out of the
rain,
house.
yeah.
I
Beautiful.
stood there for a second like,
Yeah.
wow.
Feels like December.
Yeah.
It was like 60. It
And then
was
we're supposed to be
fantastic.
up almost 90 today, though.
It's May. Yeah.
Jeez. All right. As Mother's Day approaches, I want to highlight an organization that cares deeply for mothers, and that's Preborn. Preborn's network of clinics exists exclusively to offer love, life, and support to pregnant mothers who are feeling scared and alone and are being pressured to make the ultimate choice that will not only sacrifice the life of their preborn baby, but take a piece of their heart with them. When a distressed mother comes to Preborn, she is welcomed with open arms and is offered a free ultrasound so that she can hear and see the precious life inside of her. And the majority of the time, she'll choose life after this happens. This Mother's Day, you can help bring life to both the mother and the baby. One ultrasound is only $28. 5 ultrasounds would be $140. Every penny goes toward loving mothers and babies. And when you become a monthly sponsor, you'll receive a picture and stories of lives you helped to save. So to get involved, just dial pound 250, say that keyword baby, that's pound 250, keyword baby, or you can just visit preborn.com/Pat. That's preborn.com/Pat.
Now, more Pat Gray Unleashed.
So, was this just this video of the police officer killing the the person he pulled over for, I think it was rolling through a stop
traffic
sign.
violation, yeah. And it was, not coming to a complete stop.
Was finally released.
Yeah, NBC News did a report on this, and it took 2 years for the mom to finally get the local police to release the video of the traffic stop. And it's very sad.
And it's heart-wrenching because it's the mom. I mean, she lost her son.
Yeah.
And it makes it even worse. But the interaction between this guy who ends up getting shot and then dying and this police officer is an interesting interaction.
Yeah.
Here it is, the report from NBC, I believe. Yep.
Good evening. I heard the officer say, "Good evening, sir." Michael said, "Good evening, sir," back. And he told me he loved me, and he hung up the phone.
Wendy Tippett was on the phone with her 29-year-old son, Timothy Michael Randall, when a sheriff's deputy pulled him over. It was late at night in rural Rusk County, Texas.
The reason I pulled you over is you blew that stop sign back there.
No, I didn't. I came to a complete stop with that stop sign.
Sergeant Shane Iverson spotted an open container, according to police.
Step out of the vehicle for me.
The confrontation escalated
Right there real quick.
fast.
You got anything on you? Should.
Can you just tell me, officer, please, can you tell me what I'm under arrest for, please? Please.
Jeez.
Officer, please.
Whoa.
Get out.
Sergeant Iverson, a former Green Beret who served multiple tours overseas, fired one shot. Randall ran off. But when Sergeant Iverson found him moments later...
Dude, you okay?
He was collapsed on the ground. The deputy calling it in.
I need an ambulance. Call everybody. I've got a shooting.
After driving his patrol vehicle over and administering first aid.
Come on, stay with me, buddy.
Then on a phone call, 13 minutes after firing that shot.
4125, I need everybody. I know what happened. I just smoked a dude.
Meanwhile, Tippett did not hear back from her son, so she went looking for him.
I couldn't make myself go up there. Sorry.
I know.
I knew something was bad. Calling mother's intuition, I don't know. I just knew it was bad. And then the ambulance and the fire trucks got there. And nobody was in a big hurry. He told me to go home and be with my family. And I said, my family is laying in the road.
You realized he was dead?
Yeah.
According to the autopsy, the bullet hit Randall in the right upper chest and then pierced his heart, killing him in minutes. Tippett was desperate to know what happened.
I was told nothing.
You were told nothing?
Nothing. I couldn't even get a police report.
From the moment Sergeant Iverson approached the car to the moment he fired his gun is just over a minute. There's body cam, there's dash cam. Randall's mother asked repeatedly to see it and was told no. It would take nearly 2 years and a lawsuit before they were released.
Unreal.
What the sheriff department video reveals, the wrestling to the ground, Randall standing back up, and the gunfire. Still disputed today. Authorities told Tippett her 29-year-old son, who was unarmed, ran toward Sergeant Iverson.
I didn't see any evidence of that in the video. The only person that was attacking anybody was Sergeant Iverson.
Oftentimes, dash cam doesn't get anything outside of the purview of the frame of the camera, but this caught it all.
Joe Oxman, a civil rights attorney, represents Tippett in a lawsuit she has filed against Sergeant Iverson.
This, I think, is, if not the worst police shooting ever in U.S. history, it's definitely one of the worst.
You got anything on you? You shouldn't keep your hands out of your...
Sergeant Iverson says it was self-defense.
I saw him reaching into his waistband, which at that point in time turned this into a dangerous situation.
Randall had both methamphetamines and marijuana in his system, according to the toxicology report. Police say there was a drug pipe in his pants pocket.
Felt that object and believed it was a weapon.
But his hands
a gun
on the
like
car.
this one, according to Iverson's attorney, Robert Davis.
So that officer in that split second has to make a decision about whether or not that officer is going to lose his life.
Davis says Randall was desperate because he had already served prison time for drug possession and didn't want to be arrested again.
When I watched the video, it looked like Randall was running away.
That's not how I see it, and part of that is because I've done this a lot. You can see his feet, and his feet are pointed right toward the deputy.
But he's got his hands up with no weapon.
Well, it's not like he's saying, whoa, I surrender, because he's not doing that, obviously.
Sergeant Iverson has since retired from the sheriff's department. A grand jury determined he should not be charged with a crime. But when his defense attorney tried to get the civil lawsuit thrown out, a magistrate judge disagreed. Writing in his decision, a reasonable juror could conclude that defendant Iverson's actions were objectively unreasonable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A reasonable juror could.
One thing I need to point out is I don't know what happened on the editing on our end, but it appears to be zoomed in so tightly that we don't see.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah,
you
right.
Don't see
what Jeffy and I watched this morning, his hands are up
while he's running away.
He
sees the gun and continues to run.
Runs into the mailbox as the officer shoots him. There's no lunging
when they freeze frame that, where you see what we showed, where the bullet is being fired from the gun. Where he has his arms up and is looking back at the officer, not running toward him.
No, he's trying to get out of there.
That's really sad.
I mean, the whole thing is
really sad. And you know what else is sad is the fact that this poor mom, had to fight in court for 2 years to get the videotape and the police report of her son's death. That's shameful in of itself, man.
You know, you want to support the blue,
100%.
But he looks completely in the wrong in this, to me. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad.
I don't see why it escalated to the point where he's throwing him to the ground.
Right.
Yeah, because if you're listening, the dead individual had his hands on
top of the car.
Well, he had his one arm down, and apparently he was trying to get his drug pipe out of his pants. That's what they said.
But at the moment he was thrown to the ground, if memory serves, his hands were on the car at that point. So I don't know if we could play it again just real quick. That's a little moment.
It's fine.
But he doesn't reach down. Like, I'm not arguing with your point. I'm saying that when he's finally thrown to the ground, his hands were on the car. Right?
Can you just tell me?
Okay.
Hang on. Watch his right hand. Watch his right hand.
Yeah, his hands are up.
He wasn't digging into his pocket. Yeah.
Crazy. Whoa.
Yeah, his hands were.
Okay.
Get out.
Wow.
Yeah, we can't see it. Our video is too tight.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Terrible things, man.
See you back here to
Good
finish
luck.
off the week
God bless.
tomorrow.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.